Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Markets finally opened up today as we had Labor Day yesterday, but we do have quite a few updates here. So we have Bit Digital providing production updates for August, along with Cleanspark, Marathon, and Terawulf. It's going to be a little bit lengthy video. We got to go through all these miners here. So I'm going to put the chapters on below. You guys can get to the ones you want. And then eventually I get these out as clip videos for you guys later on this week. Okay, so as always, you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. Invest in following coins and companies for full disclosure. And what else is there? Oh, if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's get into the news here, and then we'll get into see what's happening with Bitcoin really quick and how the miners did today as well. So here's the first story that we have. Bit Digital Inc. announces monthly production updates for August. It's going to be pretty quick on them. Corporate highlights for August 2023. So in August, the company mined or produced 139.9 BTC. The company active hash rate was approximately 2.03 exahash. So that was an increase for them. That was good. Treasury holdings of BTC and Ethereum were 758.5 of BTC and 13,002.1 of Ethereum. So that's good there as well. That's basically all that we have here. Let's see here. They installed some miners, staking, general meetings, upcoming conferences. We don't really care about that. So let's take a look at the details that I do have for them, and then we'll get into the next one. So Bit Digital right now, as of today, has 85 million shares outstanding. Stock price is at $2.20. Market cap is 187 million right now. You can see that the last 12 weeks, they haven't done too well here, but a lot of the miners really haven't done too well in the last 12 weeks, excuse me. They're down 31% from 12 weeks ago, 44% from 8 weeks ago. From 4 weeks ago, they're down 35%. And then 1 week ago, they were down 1.71%. Okay, current hash rate is at 2 exahash basically. Their future hash rate is about 2.1. They're about 98% installed as it is right now, or 95%, sorry, installed. A little bit of hash rate growth left. Their HODL is 758 Bitcoins. That's valued about 19.6 million right now. And then if we look at their BTC production here, they kind of bottomed out in April at 86.1 BTC. Their hash rate has been increasing also ever since then, and their production of BTC has been increasing as well, which is nice to see. Okay, you can see the monthly BTC mine difference from month to month. It has been increasing ever since May, so that's good to see. Their BTC HODL has also been increasing here ever since May, which is good to see. At 759 now. BTC per exahash efficiency has been coming down for them, but it's been coming down for everybody else, and that's only because of the network hash rate continues to increase. That's going to result in less Bitcoin being mined or less efficiency because everybody's fighting for the same Bitcoin here. BTC sold, you can see that they sold, it looks like 58 this time around. Whereas they added actually 59 last time around, which was kind of strange. Kind of anomaly there, maybe a little bit. Okay. Hash rate, you can see that has been increasing here ever since May as well. So that's good to see there. Bitcoin revenue, they peaked here, looks like in July at 4 million. And August, they were pretty close to it at 3.9 million. So that's still pretty good there. That has been increasing ever since they bottomed out in December here. Looks like of last year, they were at 2.2 million, but it has come up and down, but it's been going more or less in the upward direction, which is good. Monthly hash rate difference, how much they increased or decreased their hash rate each month. That's right there. And then BTC sold value, how much they sold each month based on the average Bitcoin price, which all of these numbers are based on the average Bitcoin price in August. Okay, the quarterly results, we take a look at that when they actually provide the quarterly results. So we've gone over that before. Let's take a look at institutions and analysts really quick here. So had a huge increase here in the number of institutions from last month. So it looks like about 41 institutions added to the list here. So they have 122 institutions right now. Shares is at 26.9 million compared to 15.3. That's a nice increase there. Percentage owned is now 30.5%. That's also nice to see there. It was 18.61%. So huge increase there. Now as far as analyst ratings, we do have now 3 buy ratings, 0 hold, 0 underperform, 0 sells. Price targets actually went down here. It looks like based on the analysts that were added on here. So the high target now is at $4.50. The average is at $4.13, and the low is at $3.90. So that is lower than where it was in the prior month. But as you get more analysts, the price is going to kind of fluctuate a little bit more. Okay, so that's kind of the way things stack out for them. We'll get back to this numbers here after we look at what we actually had mining here this month in August. So if we look at August, it looks like we added in approximately, at least I added in 2,170 of these unknown miners, which are 103 terahash, basically based on what they provided here. That added to them another 223 petahash, it looks like, to get us to the 2 exahash, 2.003 exahash. And those were running, they were running pretty much for the full 31 days on the miners that were already installed. The ones that got installed were running approximately 20.85 days, it looks like, based on the information here. So really efficient, really good, nicely done here by Bit Digital. Next month will be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Next month is looking like we might be at approximately 3.5 million, depending where Bitcoin goes. If it goes up, it's going to be higher. If it goes down, it's going to be lower. But we also have, I believe, one less day in September. Do we have 30 or 31 days? I'll have to look that up. I can't remember now exactly. But that's kind of what we're looking at here on that one. And when we look at my current estimates for them, excuse me, they should be between, with a P of 10, $2.15 and $3.22. They're currently at $2.22. I think they're pretty fairly valued right now. If we look out to the next basically 12 months or so, or now it's going to be, I think, 11 months after that. No, it's going to be 12 months. Yeah, 12 months to going forward. If we look at the 50% net income, we're looking at 18.5 million. With a P of 10, that gets us to $2.18 to $3.27. So a little bit higher than we are with the historical data, which includes the last 3 quarters and the current quarter that we're in, which is an estimate right now. Okay, so that's how the things stack up here. Definitely looks like institutions are liking the stock, but it looks like they're liking some of the other stocks as well. We'll take a look at the other ones. And we have seen, or at least I saw today, quite large increases in the number of institutions buying in. So that's a good sign there going forward. Obviously, we're getting closer to the halving event. We'll have to see how things progress going forward. But let me know if you guys are invested in them, what you guys think of them, and where do you guys see them going higher, or where do you think they should be valued at, okay? All right, so that's it for Bit Digital. Let's take a look at Cleanspark here. So Cleanspark releases August 2023 Bitcoin mining update. Here's what we have from them. August Bitcoin mining update unaudited. Bitcoin mined in August was 659. That is an increase over July, which is good to see. Total BTC holdings as of August 31st was 1,677. That is also a nice increase there from where it was in July. Total BTC sold in August was 43. I think that's the same amount that they sold in July as well. Month-end fleet efficiency was at 28.7, so that's good. Current hash rate is at 9.3 exahash, so they did add another 300 petahash roughly to their network hash rate in the past month, which is also great to see. Then we do have, so let me see here. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about something in a little bit. But operational updates, Sandersville construction is underway at the company's newest expansion in Sandersville, Georgia. Concrete has been poured for building 1, and construction on subsequent buildings begins this week. Materials are arriving on site daily, and all 10 data centers are expected to be completed later this year, so that's great. Concurrently, the Municipal Energy Authority of Georgia has been constructing a 200 megawatt substation and related infrastructure that will power the Sandersville expansion. The utility has informed the company that it expects to complete the substation in 2023, so that's good news here, but here's a little bad news. But the related power line project that connects to the substation is expected to push into early 2024. So early 2024, I'm hoping within the first quarter, so sometime in January, February, or March, that will take place and get them energized. And at that point, they're saying, after which time miners will be promptly energized to achieve Cleanspark's target of 16 exahash of operational hash rate. I think they'll probably have all of this stuff installed by the end of this year, but then just going to be waiting on energization. Like sometimes Marathon had to wait on, getting things energized. So once that gets done, that should be a pretty quick fix for them going there. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's take a look at the numbers that we do have for them, and we'll talk about something also. So if we go to Cleanspark here, Cleanspark has 152 million shares outstanding. Stock price is $4.53. Market cap 691 million right now. You can see that from 12 weeks ago, they're actually up 17.8%. From 8 weeks ago, they're down 33%. From 4 weeks, they're down 29%. And last week, they were up just slightly 0.22%. Current hash rate 9.3 exahash. Future hash rate is 17. It's supposed to be 16. They do have some miners that will probably get replaced or basically unplugged. And if that happens, they'll drive them down to the 16 exahash as is. So they are still quite a ways from being fully installed here. Their Bitcoin HODL is at 1,667. What did they? I think they reported 167. Was that right? Do I have that right? 1677. Okay, 1677. I had a mistake there. I thought so. Okay, so that's valued at 43.3 million right now, and we can see that their BTC production has been increasing here. Their best month so far, or out of the last 12 months, has been in January of this year, where they mined 697, and that was obviously before the network hash rate exploded in the first half of this year. So that was great to see there, and they are coming back up to that level again, which is also great to see as well. You can see their month-over-month difference, BTC mined. Looks like they increased by about 84 last month, 84 this month as well. BTC HODL has been increasing here as well, which is nice to see. They've been stacking a lot here since July and August. So my question there was, and I actually posed this question to Matthew Schultz on Twitter, and he was actually kind enough to respond to it. So we'll get into that here, because my thought was, I was thinking that they had possibly enough cash left over to fund operations without having to dilute. And it looks like my thoughts or my hunch was correct. So let's take a look at that conversation that we had here just today for you guys. So Matt tweeted this: no other way to explain it. Cleanspark Bitcoin mining team is greater than any other Bitcoin mining team. And I wrote to him, hey Matthew, great job by Cleanspark team. Just a quick question for you. The HODL increased greatly over the last 2 months. Are you able to fund operations with cash on hand, or are you having to dilute some shares as well? Thanks in advance. And he wrote back, hey Sebastian, thanks. We've not used any equity at all dating back to before our last earnings call. So we knew that they diluted between the end of the quarter and the conference call where their cash has increased. We've also said we'll use them when the opportunities present that provide greater value to our shareholders than the impact of the equity. So I agree with that. That's a great statement there, and it clarifies that they haven't used equity to basically fund operations right now. How much of a time frame window do they have before they might have to start pulling on equity in order to HODL as much as they have been HODLing? I'm going to run some numbers on that, and if I find anything that's concrete or something like that, I'll let you guys know. All right, so I just want to point that out. So we do have clarification on that, which is nice. And this is a nice way to obviously stack. I mean, they've basically stacked almost 1,000 something plus in the last 2 months of Bitcoin. That's a huge increase there for them. And it's great that it's going into the halving event, because once the halving event does happen, Bitcoin price is going to go up. Their value on that HODL is going to be a big driver forward for them when Bitcoin goes to possibly closer to all-time highs. They're going to end up selling probably to fund the next phase of their growth in the next bear market, which they've done the same thing in this bear market, which is fantastic. Okay, you want to build out in the bear market and basically HODL in the bull market, and then sell in the bull market as well to fund your operations and growth going forward. BTC per exahash efficiency, 70.9 for August, which was pretty good, which was better than in July. BTC sold, like I said, they sold about 43 last month and this month as well, so they're not saying a lot. And hash rate has increased to 9.3 from 9 exahash, so that's also good there. Monthly revenue has also increased. This is the highest revenue that they've had in the last 12 months, it looks like, at 18.35 million. And we'll have to see how much they can install hash rate going forward in the next couple of months, which might be a little tight because they are building out Sandersville. They don't really have room to put any of the miners that they did order in, I don't think, but we may get surprised on that one. But yeah, we'll have to see obviously how that goes, especially where Bitcoin goes and where the network hash rate goes. Hash rate growth month over month, you can see how much they increased their hash rate monthly over month. Bitcoin sold value, how much they've been selling here recently. And they've been obviously selling very little here in the last 2 months, only about 1.3 million, 1.2 million. Quarterly results, we covered that already when they provided those. Not going to get into it here. Okay, institutions and analyst ratings. So also nice increase here for them as well. 20 added institutions to the list here at 195 now from 175. Shares also increased greatly to 54.3 million from 36.4. Percentage increased also to 35.67 to from 32.51, so that's good there. We still have 1 strong buy rating, 3 buy ratings, 0 hold, 0 underperform, 0 sell. Price targets actually went up here, which is nice to see. They're more in line with where I have them, kind of closer to where I have them. At $14 for the high, $11.25 for the average, and $10 for the low. Okay. Now looking at the miners that got installed here and how efficient they were running here in August, if we look at it here, we installed basically just 2,460 of these 122 terahash miners. That gave us the added 300 petahash that we needed. And all of the miners were running for 31 days. The new ones installed were running maybe at 9.65 days. Don't know exactly. It's just an estimate there on that one, but still would be pretty efficient. Even if we did it at 20 days for them, it would be minimal here as far as be like 30.9 or 30.8, something like that, running on normal, for normal installed miners already. Okay. So that got us to the 18.3 million that we needed to get to. And based on all that, looking backwards to the last 3 quarters that are reported, the current quarter that we're in, which is an estimate, I'm looking at basically a stock price of $11 to $16.50. They're currently at $4.53. I think that they are still way undervalued from where they should be. And if we look at future estimates, so we look at the last reported monthly revenue here, which was going to be for August now. Multiply that times the 7 months before the halving event, and then the 5 months after the halving event, which is going to be at 50%. That gets us to $11.42 to $17.14. Still undervalued, in my opinion, based on that information. Now, Bitcoin goes up higher. All these numbers are going to go up higher as well. And if once their hash rate increases even more, that's going to help drive that even more. So, more or less, I believe that they are still way undervalued here. Okay, let me know what you guys think of all of this. Let me know if you guys are happy to hear that they are not diluting to increase their HODL position. And then let me know if you guys are investing in them. I've been, as you guys know, I've been investing in them for quite a while here, almost 2 years now. Probably a year and a half, I guess, since last year. I started buying them around $9 or something like that, and just dollar cost average down. And I'm going to continue to do so until my goal is to get to about 10,000 shares of them. I'm at 7,000 something right now, 7,350, I think. So I still have a ways to go, but that is the plan here. So while the price is down low, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in. And let me know if you guys are doing the same thing or if you're choosing something else. All right. So that's it for that one for Cleanspark. Let's get into our next one here. The next one is going to be on Marathon Digital. So Marathon Digital Holdings announces Bitcoin production and mining operation updates for August 2023. And here's some management commentary. So they're talking about they actually mined a little bit less here. They mined 1,072 Bitcoin in August, which was a 9% decrease from last month. And they're talking about that. The decrease in Bitcoin production from July was largely due to an increase in curtailment activity in Texas due to record high temperatures. These temporary shutdowns more than offset the progress we have made to increase our operational hash rate and optimize our operations, which is fine. And then the sequential increase they increased their hash rate to 19.1. The sequential increase is primarily due to swapping Bitmain S19J Pro miners for more efficient S19 XPs. We are still waiting for the facility in Garden City, Texas to come online, as Applied Digital and the utility provider are still finalizing paperwork based on the latest updates. We continue to believe that energization is imminent. So basically, they have the S19 XPs in hand. And what are they doing? They're just like, well, we have those in, we might as well use them. So swapping those out for the S19J Pros, which are a little bit less efficient than the XPs, which is good there. And then I'll probably take the S19J Pros, put them someplace else. That's going to make sense for them. Okay. Next, continuing on here, we also saw continued progress at our joint venture in Abu Dhabi, which began hashing in July and mined 50 Bitcoin in August, of which approximately 10 Bitcoin is our share. So I believe they have 20% stake in that one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And JV's operational hash rate grew to 1.5 exahash. And we continue to expect the project's full 7 exahashes to be online before year end of 2023. So that's also good there. Okay. Going down here, Bitcoin mined 1,062. Exahash was 19.1. Let's see here. With the majority of Marathon's U.S. fleet now powered by S19 XPs, the company's average fleet efficiency based on manufacturer specifications improved from 25.3 joules per terahash last month to 25.2 joules terahash as of August 1st. I wonder if that should be September 1st, because we're talking about August here, but maybe it is. Once fully deployed, Marathon's U.S. fleet efficiency is expected to be approximately 24.2 joules per terahash according to the manufacturer specifications, which is actually really, really good number there. It's definitely way below the 30 joules per terahash that we're kind of thinking might be the the point at which miners are no longer going to be profitable once the halving happens. So that's good to see that they're below that. And then total BTC holdings right now is 13,286. So they did stack quite a bit. They also sold 750. It looks like they've been selling that now for, I think, the second month in a row. So that's kind of what they need to sell to possibly fund operations. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. There isn't. Let's take a look at the numbers here that I have for Marathon. So if we look at Marathon, which is going to be way over here. There it is. Marathon. Okay, so Marathon, let's see here. I want to make sure I got this right. I was just thinking about something. 13,286. Yep. And then they're at currently 1,062 Bitcoins produced. I want to make sure I got that right. 1,062, 1,072. I got to fix that. See that? I knew I had a mistake here someplace. There, I'm including the JV shares in there as well. So it's 1,062. So I'll have to do some adjustments here on the fly here for you guys while we work through this. Okay. All of this should be the same here. Not much changes here. So Marathon currently has 174.2 million shares outstanding. Stock price is at $12. Market cap is at $2 billion right now. And they've done kind of mixed numbers here as far as the last 12-week performance. They're up from 12 weeks ago at 20.2%. They're down from 8 weeks ago at 33%. They're also down from 4 weeks ago at 19.4%. And they're actually up last week 13.7%. So pretty good week last week for them. Their BTC production, you can see here, was their best in May. May also contributed to the network transaction fees, which were added in there as well. That helped them out tremendously. They were down in June, back up in July. They're down in August as well. Month over month difference as far as how much they've mined here. So they're down about 114 Bitcoin month over month. And their BTC HODL has continued to increase here to 13,286, which is obviously a large number. They're one of the biggest here HODLs that between the companies that I track at least. Next one's probably going to be Hut 8 and then Riot possibly. Looking at their BTC per exahash efficiency, that came down because they did curtail quite a bit there. BTC sold, you can see how much they've been selling here. It looks like they sold, I'll have to adjust this, should be 750 as well, I think. Oh, see, this is why things get a little tricky when they do this stuff with the joint ventures and I don't catch it in time. Where did I put that number here? Let me see here, 13,286, okay. Yep, so they sold for 740, so that's correct. Just don't want to double check there. So 740 was sold. Hash rate has increased to 19.1 from 18.8, so that's good there. Revenue also came down here because they curtailed, and that's the reason why. But they did reach a record here at 35.38 in July, beating the prior record at 34.24 in May. And I would expect this to go back up here going forward as they get more and more stuff energized. Hash rate difference, you can see that they've been installing a lot this past year, which is fantastic to see because they had a pretty rough last year. And then BTC sold value, how much they've been selling. So right around 20 some odd million here, it looks like, to fund operations. Last 4 quarters revenue, we talked about that already in previous videos. We're not going to get into it here, but institutions and analyst ratings here, they did actually decrease a little bit. So 332 institutions now as of today. They are down from the 333 that they had last month. Shares increased to 71.6 million from 61.5 million. So that's good. Their percentage owned by institutions is at 41.12% compared to 36.22. So that's good there also. And we also have one more analyst rating here on them. So we got 1 strong buy, 2 buy ratings, and now 4 hold ratings, which we had 3 before. We have 0 underperform, 0 sell, and the price target actually went down a little bit here to $20 on the high. The average actually went up to 16.02, and the low actually went up also to $11 as well. Okay. Now, as far as the miners that got installed this time around, and I may have to update the pricing here or the time frame, or maybe not. Let me see here. 19.01. Well, they mined 10 less Bitcoin, so it's going to change the amount that they actually generate here. So if we have that at 1,062, that's now 29,579, 29,570, 29,500. Well, let's just do this. We'll see if we can get it down by that 500. I'm probably gonna be able to do that. Let's see here, 5 days, 579. So 6, 579, 5.5. Pretty close there. So right around there. We'll keep it for now. When the miners got installed here, and those were the 140 terahash miners, which are the XPs, and we added 300 petahash of those. So 2.1 thousand of those were added to it. Other than that, they were running for about 24 days out of the month here, out of 31. So definitely a lot of curtailment for them. That's why their efficiency is down on it. Okay. And then based on all this, I think they should be between, looking at the last 3 quarters of revenue plus the current quarter that we're in, we're looking at $14.70 to $22.05 on the higher end. They're at $12. I think they're actually undervalued right now. And then when we look forward, I have them at $16.12 to $24.18. So definitely way undervalued still, based on where things are at. But we know that the investors are a finicky bunch, and Bitcoin coming down has also resulted in a lot of these miners coming down as well. To me, this is just a great buying opportunity. If you're investing for at least the next 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, this is a prime buying opportunity right now to dollar cost average in. As always, not a financial advice. You guys have to do your own research. But this is definitely things that I like to look at when dollar cost averaging into companies that I own. Okay? So that's it. Let me know what you guys think of them. Excuse me. And whether you own them, whether you're buying more of them. And we'll call it a day for Marathon. Okay. So next is going to be Terawulf. Terawulf also announced their August 2023 production and operation updates. And in August, they self-mined 330 Bitcoin, which was, I believe, the same as they did in July. Power cost average was 10.3 thousand per Bitcoin produced, so that's actually pretty good. Cost approximately of 3.6 cents per kilowatt hour in August, which is also really good. And then let's see here. During the month of August, the company mined 330 Bitcoin, which was in line with July's production despite network factors, including a 6.3 increase in network difficulty month over month, said Sean Farrell, Senior Vice President of Operations at Terawulf. Additionally, improved performance at the Lake Mariner facility due to enhanced miner repair efforts was offset by 2 planned transmission outages at Nautilus in early August, totaling approximately 3 days to further augment long-term energy supply reliability. Okay, so that's fine there. The company is currently expanding its Lake Mariner facility with construction of Building 3, which will house 43 megawatts of capacity and the next generation of Antminer S19J XPs. Bitcoin mining machines, Building 3 is targeted for completion by year end of 2023, so that's good there as well. And that's all we really have here from them. So pretty simple update. Let's take a look at the numbers that I do have for them, and we'll get into Bitcoin and miners to see what happened today with those guys. Okay, Terawulf. So Terawulf has 221 million shares outstanding. Stock price is $1.89 right now. So market cap is 417 million. They've also had mixed results here in the last 12 weeks. They're up 35.6% from 12 weeks ago. They're down 43.8% from 8 weeks ago. Down again from 4 weeks ago, 22%. And then last week they were up 4.21%. Their current hash rate is at 4.9. Exahash future is supposed to be about 7.9. Based on all that, they don't have a HODL position at all. BTC production, you can see, was the same as in August, which it was good. At least it didn't go down. I think August had one more day than July. Is that right? July only had 30 days, I think. I'm terrible with calendar days. But I think that was the case here. Month over month difference as far as what was produced. So they have been coming down here ever since June. June was their best month, 347. They have slightly come down here a little bit. BTC HODL, they don't HODL anything. BTC per exahash efficiency was down to 67.35 this time around, which was the same as in July. BTC sold. They sold pretty much everything anyway, so sold the same amount. Hash rate. Their hash rate has stayed the same since June, so that would make sense why their production has been coming down, but they at least were able to hold on to that, mainly because we had maybe one more day in production here. BTC revenue, the revenue was down to 9.19. Their best month was in July, 9.93 million. And then hash rate difference, how much they installed hash rate here. We can see that they, last 2 months have been kind of steady there. BTC sold value, how much they sold. Last 4 quarters, we talked about that. You guys can take a look at that already. And then institutions here for them also increased, which was nice to see as well. Institutions increased to 106 from 103. Shares went up to 31.6 million from 24, so that's good. And percentage owned went up to 14.3% from 11.5, so that's good there. Target analysts as far as price, we still have the 1 buy rating, don't have any hold, underperformers sell ratings. Price target went actually down to $4.25 for the high, $4.08 for the average, and the low actually stayed the same at $4. And since they didn't install anything, we can just kind of take a look at what they were running here on August. So in August, it looks like they were running for approximately 28.1 days. They did, like they said, they curtailed a little bit here in August, and that's the reason for it. They curtailed a little bit more, it looks like, in July, and then they did here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. And then based on all those information, last 3 quarters and the current quarter that we're in, I have them at $3.27 to $4.91. That's pretty in line with what the analysts are looking for as well. If we go forward in the next 12 months, I have it between $3.95 to $5.92. Okay, so I definitely think that they're undervalued right now. But let me know what you guys think of them. Obviously, some of the things that are of concern is the total current liabilities with them. You can see here at 81 million, that went up from Q1 to Q2. They did do a pretty good job of paying that off, or quite a bit of it, at least from Q4 to Q1, but then they kind of went back up here in Q2. So that's a little bit concerning. Also, debt to equity ratio is pretty high. We'd love to see that be a little bit lower. And then the current ratio, we'd love to see that be higher than what it is right now. Okay, so that's kind of where we stand right now. Let me know if you guys are invested in them, what you guys think of them, and what are your guys' thoughts on them in general. Okay, so that is it for the miners here. It's interesting, obviously, to see how everybody's performing. For the most part, out of these 4 at least, they've all done a pretty decent job here. I think Cleanspark has done the best job so far. They actually grew their hash rate and their Bitcoin production here, which was nice to see, along with, Bit Digital as well. The other 2, Marathon and Terawulf at least stayed flat for the most part. But Marathon lost a little bit there. but I'm sure they're going to do better going forward as well. All right, so that's it for those. Let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin right now is at 25,783. The thing that I'm not too thrilled about, or that I like seeing right now, is the price has kind of been coming down here ever since we bottomed out here a little bit, or at least we thought we bottomed out. This was back on Friday, the 18th of August. And ever since then, the price has been slowing down. We had a rally here a little bit, and then it came back crashing down. But the RSI has been continuing to go up. So I'm a little iffy on that one right now. I don't know for sure if it's going to continue doing that or if we're actually going to go down a little bit more here. We can see the same thing here on the RSI. On the 4-hour chart, we were at 32. Price was actually lower at that point, and then we're higher here on the RSI, and the price is actually higher. So we might be reversing things a little bit on the 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart is just all over the place here as far as the RSI. If we look at the peaks here, we're at 53. Prior peak was right around there, so we're about the same spot as well. So not really a reversal there as well. We'll just have to see how things go. We're trying to hold this 26,000 line here, and it's bouncing to it and falling below it and bouncing to it. The more times it bounces and it doesn't get above it, the more likelihood there is of us going down lower. If that happens, well, then we possibly might be going down to where our previous bottom was at around 24,750, somewhere around there. And if that doesn't hold, we might be coming down to 23,880 or around there. But we'll have to see, right? Things are always very fluid in Bitcoin. One little new story could change it where we're going back up to 30,000 within a minute. Okay, so we'll see on that one. As far as for the miners, for the most part, it was a mixed day for them. We had a couple that were up. Any, Bitdeer, Cypher was up, DMG, Greenedge was up as well, and then everybody else was pretty much down here. Stronghold was down way down, almost 12% here. Anybody else was down that big here? It doesn't look like it. Stronghold was the only one that really did the worst here. So not a good day for the miners for the most part, but it was kind of mixed. Now looking at the network hash rate here, we can see this on the 7-day average. 7-day average has spiked back up here to 397 million terahashes. And if we look at the 1-day average, we can see that we have been kind of going sideways here, at least for the last month or so, which is nice to see because ever since December at the end of January, we've had a huge rally here in the first half of the year. And then this second half so far has kind of stalled out a little bit more, it seems like. But we'll see how this continues going forward into the end of the year here. It all depends, I think, where Bitcoin price goes. If Bitcoin price comes down, we may have some miners that are less efficient, might be turning off for the time being until it is more profitable for them to do it. So we'll have to keep an eye on. Okay, but that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, the spreadsheets are going to be available to my Patreon members. That will be uploaded later tonight. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm still waiting for, obviously, all the other miners to provide their production updates for August. We got Riot, we got Hive, Hot 8, and a lot more to go through there. Okay, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night. Bye.